Hello and welcome to another episode of Stock Shots. Please remember, I am not a financial advisor. I'm just giving my opinion based on some things I see, like support and resistance, supply, demand, and of course, some indicators that may be on the screen. So always do your own due diligence. Make sure you educate yourself and always look to the left because we're looking at things that have already happened to think about what things may do in the future. So this is another episode of Stock Shots. Welcome.
All right, let's get started with the C fund, SPX, aka S&P 500. So as you can see, for the last week we had a big downturn. Uh, Now last week I actually got out of this and I was into the international fund and the bond fund. So the F and I funds. That's what I got into actually during this week when I saw this breaking down the daily time frame. So if you're worried about it, you might lose a couple dollars here and there. It looks like if we have a continued breakdown, I am looking forward to first stop here at the 5449, but there is a gap in the daily time frame here at the 5403 down to the 5379. So this area here will may get filled, but it's going to have to break the 9-day moving average. And after that, it's going to have to get down here to the 14-day moving average. And that will take us right here to 5341. Now that's as far down as I see it going, literally to this area. So let's keep it simple. If you're thinking I'm losing a lot of money, at the worst case scenario, it would be a 5.77, aka 6%. If it pulls back the 6%, this is what I have seen going from, I want to say probably 2015, maybe 2013. I did it. It's been a while now, but every time the SPY pulls back 6%, you first want to take it up to here. This is about 6, right? That's right back to where it is. Let's take it to here. So the reason I say SPY is because that's generally what it's known as everywhere else. For us, it's the C fund. There. So I would look for a target price of there, 5986.73. That's a 12% rise from the 6% pullback. Now, is that going to happen? There's no way saying it definitely will, but historically, if we're going to get a 6% down, and that's all I'm particularly looking for, is 6% down. If it gets here, then I am looking for that push up. That's it. That's all I'm going to say. That's it. I don't think it's going to pull up right away because this is a very bullish candle for the week. I do think it wants to come back and at least touch this 9-day moving average, which would coincide with this last big resistance slash support area. And you notice it was resistance here, a little bit here, then it became support. So right here at that 5449. If it breaks the 5449, it most likely is going to go to the 6% down, which is going to be the 5341. Going up, I'd rather see it do the pullback first and then put my money back into the C fund for the 12% rise up to the 5986. But that's just me. Take what you can from the knowledge you've been getting over these last couple months, and let's see what we're going to do with the S fund. So with the S fund, it's giving me a buy signal. I'm a little cautious only because this right here, um, that's a big, to me, it's very bearish. It's very bearish. Um, it can be bullish at times, but it just looks like it went up. It got a lot of orders rejected. Now, if there are no more orders left up here, like this area is completely dry of sell orders, then we can definitely see a good push up. I mean, really good. Probably up here to a minimum of the 2205 for the S fund. So 2205 for the S fund if it continues up. That means the next week this candle has to be pretty much obliterated, and we need a close above this area right here. So we get a close above the 2100. I'm looking for it to continue up to at least 2205. If it breaks above the 2205, then my last area before I see a pullback coming is probably going to be 2262. That's what I see for the S fund. I don't really see it pulling back to the downside, but let's do it. Let's see if it comes back to the downside. It's probably going to be around here. That's as far back as I see it coming down. It's going to be it's 2038. 2038. If we get a pullback to this area, that will at least clear up some of the orders that may be left in this area here, and then pick up the rest that are probably down here. So if it pulls back, it's probably going to be to that 2038. And if we can get that bullish momentum to the upside, if you're looking at the S fund, yeah, you might get it. You might get it going up. So let's see what we got. So I told you guys I took my money out of the C in the S fund. I actually had it in the bond, and it's giving me the same thing here. It needs to break that resistance. I had to close above it, but same thing happening. It looks like it wants to pull back a little bit and then go back up. So I'm going to leave my money in here only because I had a flag pattern. We talked about this flag pattern. This is going to be a slight pullback in that flag pattern to continue up. So essentially, I'm saying the same thing I've been saying. I got a buy signal. This pattern leg is going to break to the upside. It started to. I have confirmation out of the pattern. I'm just looking for confirmation past $98. So the last fund I want to talk about is the international fund. International fund, it'll also have a little bit of change in there. So we're looking, but this one I'm probably going to wait until like maybe Tuesday or Wednesday to see what's going to happen here. It could be a very choppy time. So for all that, I can just keep it in a G fund and not worry about losing and gaining, losing and gaining. I can just wait for it to go to the upside. And of course, I'm looking for it to get to the $82 range. Once it gets there, 85, 21 would be my next area I would look at. So far, it's in this area here where I could say this is a supply zone. It hit it like it tapped some orders and came down, but I'm hoping all the sell orders in this area have been tapped, and now we have some buying pressure down here to continue up until I get a confirmed break below, I want to say here, the $79.01 area. I will still be bullish in this as well. So that's what I think about the funds this week. Hopefully this helped you. And remember, be patient, learn how to wait for your wins, and we'll see you next week on Stock Shots.